Hi everyone, Sensei here. What you're about to see is a one-on-one interview I had with Tim Dog. It's premiering, and we go in a little bit about life, the gaming industry, even our favorite foods. So I hope you guys enjoy this one-on-one episode I had with Tim Dog. Normally they go about 30 minutes, but this one went about an hour. We quite enjoyed our company. We had a great conversation, so I didn't want to cut that off. So I hope you guys enjoy and have fun. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sensei's Creative Corner. I'm Sensei Kills, and I co host a gaming podcast with my buddy Logic on Sundays live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. However, with Creative Corner, I do things a little different. I get to sit down and vibe with the people of the gaming community, and these sit downs are then premiered on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and share us out. And if you are new to our channel, I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This way, you don't miss out on any new content that's coming up. Today, with me, I have a very special guest, Twitter personality and Xbox fan, xCloud Tim Dog. How you doing, Tim?
Good, man. You're a really nice guy, very polite and gentleman, and I'm happy to be here. Sounds like I got to check into your show, see what it's all about. You told me you just started getting going, so definitely will be tuning in and definitely come around. Maybe I'll do the main podcast one day too.
I appreciate that. That'd be cool if you could swing by one day. But
Sure.
it's we spoke before we went live here and started recording. But yeah, a little channel. We like to say, me and my co-host Logic, we like to say the little channel that could. And we are. So
You
we
know
are.
what?
I mean, it's just a little small gaming channel. We get into Xbox topics. We are Xbox centric. So we
Hmm.
get into Xbox topic and we talk gaming in general. We also talk like talk sports, not like deep dive sports, but we talk sports and
I'm a
we Knicks
sports guy
fans,
too.
Yankee fans, that kind of stuff. So we go into that
Nice.
kind of stuff. Yeah, man. All right. So I usually open these shows up with like a little icebreaker. And I told you I didn't want to catch you off guard, but with this one, it's a little game. I don't know if you've played this game before. It's called Two Truths and a Lie. Have you
Hmm.
played that before?
No.
All right, I'm from corporate world, so I used to be a trainer, and these are the type of things I used to do in my classes, just to break the ice. We're meeting for the first time, so just to get to know you. What it is my guest, which is you. You give me two truths and a lie. You give me three statements, and in those three statements, two are truths and one is a lie, and I have to guess which one's a lie. You comfortable with
Okay.
that?
Sure.
All right, two truths and a lie. Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, in 2015, I met Satya Nadella and was asked about Gears for uh, going to PC and what my PC thoughts about it. I was specifically asked by him. That's the one. That's the first one.
Okay,
The
okay.
second one is I played football and was an all-county lineman for Hicksville in the 1990s. And the third one is I met Phil for the first time at in LA at Xbox Fan Fest, and we talked about Ryan McCaffrey and things that were going on, and from there we became friends. So those are the three.
You're not making this easy on me. Not at all. Jesus. Okay. Out of those three, yes, you're from New York, so football will be a thing. That's always a thing in New York. Even if it's like street football. Um, damn, and you've been in the Xbox like stuff for a while, so I'm gonna take a wild shot. The first one with the gears.
Okay, that is actually true. And
Oh,
I was with our friend Southbound. I don't know if you remember him. He's still in the
yes, yes, yes,
community.
yes.
Great guy. Stallion. Do you know Stallion?
Stallion, of course.
Yes, and a couple other personalities. Basically, we were brought into a room, and Satya, basically, we had Aaron Greenberg in there. He talked to us and basically wanted to get our takes on Gears going to PC. Now, Gears wasn't at that point to PC, and people basically gave their answers on what they thought. My answer personally was, I said, you could do it, but I want some PC games coming back the other way. I don't want it to be a one-way street.
Nice.
The other thing that's actually untrue is I never played high school football. I am a huge football guy, though. I should have played high school, but during high school, so that was the one that's not true. I just didn't go to school in high school. I was one of those guys. Like, I would go to school and then I would miss days, and I just didn't take it seriously. And I also didn't play football, which was stupid because I was a really good football player. I played afterwards on a flag football team, and we went pretty far. We were in a very high league, and we traveled, and we were really good. But it actually helped run a team. Never won the big one, but was in championship games, that type of stuff. It was, Long Island was a pretty hotbed for flag football. Uh, you know, and like 10 years ago, still is, but not as big as it was. So that was the untrue. And I did meet Phil at Xbox Fan Fest, and at the time,
That much I do. That much I do.
yes, and he was cool. He was just saying that he saw that me and Ryan were going back and forth, and we had laughs. So I'm actually friends with Ryan now, but there were times where I don't know how long you've known me, but I used to be like really super combative. Sometimes people would say too much. I'm a New Yorker. I speak my mind. Have I calmed down a little bit? I would say definitely yes. You know what I mean? But I still have my days where if you hit me the wrong way, I will come at you. So, I built myself in this community through Twitter. Basically, in 2013, got on Twitter because there was like an incredible amount of Xbox hate, and I'm an OG Xbox tester. Started testing for them on the beta tester, and I was a huge fan of Microsoft.
Right.
Always kind of been a guy that defended them, whether it was when I was in college. I went to a trade school, CCC, Computer Career Center, and they all hated Microsoft, and I was one of the guys that kind of was like, "Why do you guys hate them?" And that's kind of my relationship. When I kind of always been a big Microsoft guy, and I've been around for a long while. Even before Twitter, I was on a forum called System Wars, which is basically console wars of today, but it was it was forum based, and you would put up a post, and then every like 10 minutes later, you would get a response. And that was like from 2007 to 2012. I was pretty
Oh,
active
wow.
there. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've been following you for quite some time, like following your account for quite some time, and your Xbox, I would say, journey. As far as following you, that happened recently. That was about, I think that was last year, right when the pandemic started. And I was working from home, and I decided, no, well, let me dedicate myself since I'm at home. Let me see some Twitter stuff. Let me do some content creating. But didn't really take off. But I contacted you through Twitter, and I at that time was like, hey man, help me get over 200. I was one of those guys. I need more followers.
Right.
And you retweeted me, and I was under 200, and now I'm like at 920.
There you go.
Little flex. I'm not trying to come back versus your almost 50K, but it's there.
Hey
I'll
man,
be
it
there
takes
too.
time. It took that's about the turnaround time that I had when I first started. So I remember when I hit 1,000, I was like, wow, I was like super excited. And it takes time, man. I mean, listen, I've been doing this, chatting about Xbox, if you include the system wars, for over 15 years on social media. So it's just a matter of taking time and taking time.
I've been part of the gaming community. I mean, I'm 43 years of age, so I've been part of the
Mhm.
gaming community since Sega, Nintendo, ColecoVision, Atari, back in them days.
Yes.
The big old Nintendo Sega wars and
Yes.
PlayStation Nintendo, like all those wars.
Yeah.
And then we've evolved to now that the PlayStation and the Xbox console wars,
Yeah.
which I love it. It's fun in games. Yes, sometimes I there were times where I took it really really personal because
Mhm.
the way I got into Xbox was exactly what you said. Like I used to, when I worked and I had a circle of friends that were all about PlayStation and always hated on Xbox. And I played PlayStation as well.
Right.
And I never understood why they hate on Xbox. Just never understood it. And that kind of hate is what drew me away from PlayStation and got me into the ecosystem of Xbox from the OG of
Right.
start of it. And from that point on, everything Xbox has done has been growth and towards like just inclusiveness, and
Mhm.
especially this generation where it's like everybody's included, nobody's left behind.
Yeah.
And as a consumer, I enjoy that kind of stuff. I follow your kind of see that. I mean, you're fun. Like you're that fan that loves Xbox, and you'll go back and forth with the big accounts over at Sony side, and I
Yeah.
laugh at that, So it's one of those things like, yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool. But I see that you're reaching 50,000 followers. We're talking about followers.
Yes.
What you have planned for that? I know you tweeted some things out there.
I want to give away an Xbox Series X, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get my hands on one with this whole thing. So I got to start working some overtime because I'm gonna.
I
It
gotta
is
get
something
those
I'm gonna
things.
do. I just don't know how to. I want to go about it a fair way, and I want to give it to somebody in the
Sure.
community. I just don't want it to be one of those things where I mess up, obviously. So I got to think about it. I didn't, to be honest, when I said that, I didn't think I'd be like, we'll doing this in June next year. But the last couple of, I said, ever since I tweeted that and I talked about that, and I don't think it's directly, I just think that people, once they see the big numbers, like when you hit 40, like I noticed, like you just get people kind of that follow you just because they see that number.
Like the algorithm. Yeah, like
Right,
all
the
of a sudden you
algorithm
take
kick
off. Yeah.
exactly, it starts to kick in, and I think that that was part of it because I was like, "There's no way." I watched my numbers and dude, ever since then, I've been like if I have like interactions, it'll shoot up to sometimes 200 followers a day. But on the average, it's like if I don't tweet anything, I still get like 30 followers to 40 followers. If I have an active day, it's 100 followers. And I'm at 48.9 right now. It's probably going to be a 49 by the end of the week. Yeah, I got to think about something. But yeah, I want to give away a Series X, maybe a Halo if I can get my hands on it. I want to make it special and I want to give back to the community. And I'm going to put my money into it and I'm going to ship it, be full thing. It's just I got to figure out a way. Maybe I heard there's ways that you could do it through Twitter, and I think that I'm going to get some help on that. Maybe a
If you
third
need help with
party.
that, let me know. I use some certain apps to do like
Yeah,
giveaway
maybe
with
I
you, and that
will.
makes
We'll
it
talk
fair.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it makes it
And then
fair and right. Not the weird way where people feel like, wait, how did they win it? I'm in here. Like there's ways to do that kind of stuff. If
yeah.
you need help with that,
Well,
let me
then
know. Me and
sometimes it
Logic
can
will
become a
do that.
disaster. Like one
Yes,
time I tried it and I tried to do something like, and it was like I asked a question and the same person got the same answer. And then it was like, well, they said that they were first. And I don't know. It just became a big thing, and I ended up just freaking getting both of them games because I kind of screwed up. I obviously can't make this happen. I can't have that mistake happen again. So I might actually use you for that. Maybe I could hook you up or something with something, and you could just help me out.
no need
And
to no need for that, man. I
you
do it
know,
out of just help, man. That's what we do.
yeah.
That's the
And
we're
I'll
in the community.
probably
Xbox.
Yeah, and I'll probably get to the thing before the end of Christmas.
Oh, I'm
Because
sure
if
you
I
will.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if I get it, like, say if I hit 1,000 now, I'd be kind of hard pressed right now to get one. But I gotta get one. Whoever wins, I'm gonna probably assure them that they'll get it by Christmas. So let's say if it's
Nice.
this thing, but yeah, that's my plan, and I'm actively looking to do that just because I never really gave away something that big in the community. I mean, I was thinking to help somebody out, but the problem with that is like then like you get like these people that come out of the woodworks, and then they tell you a sad story, and then you're like, okay, and then there's 7 of them, and then you're like, you can't do it, and then it's like, and then you don't know
my
who's lying.
my son who has, who's on crutches, and he had an
Yeah.
accident 3 times. He survived 2 of them, and it's those stories like, oh god,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they
and
play
you don't
with
know
your
if they tell the
heartstrings.
truth. Yeah, and then people will just outright lie. So yeah, that's definitely coming, and you might help me with that. So I might take you
you
up on that offer.
you definitely don't want to, yeah, for sure, you definitely don't want to give that box away to a
A
Sony fan,
hater,
and
yeah.
then they do a video of them smashing it. That's
Imagine that. Tim Dogs, yeah. The sad thing
we
is
don't want that.
it would go viral probably too, and it'd be
Yeah,
like,
just to
oh
go
my
viral,
gosh.
it go viral the wrong way.
Yeah, I want to
Also,
keep it within the Xbox community for sure.
definitely, definitely. You
So,
should try. I don't know if you saw. Tom Warren opened up an
uh-huh.
Xbox community on Twitter. Something new Twitter's doing.
Yes, those
Personally, I think it's better than.
spaces.
No, not that. No, no, not Spaces. It's to me, my opinion is better than Spaces.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I can't stand Spaces. The community knows that.
Yeah, I
But
hate it too.
it's different. It's called communities, and it's like think of Reddit,
Uh-huh.
but for Xbox. And he has 2 rules: no console warring, and then the other ones respect each other. Don't like hate, don't
Yeah.
do no hate speeches, that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. For the most part, the people that are in there are just talking Xbox, and that's pretty refreshing in
Yes.
today's day and age, because there's a lot of the console war going around. Even those who say they don't want to get involved, they get some way somehow. Like myself, I still get involved in it. There's times I see a tweet, I'm going, no, you can't get away with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
But no, I'm definitely will be helpful to you. If you need that help, I'll be there. I'll extend that to
Yeah.
you. After this actually premieres, you're probably gonna hit that 50,000. This channel, little flex there. This channel can get you there. It will. No. Uh,
Nice, nice.
the next question I have for you, your name, Xbox Cloud Tim Dog. I know it's changed over the years, but
Yes,
like, how did you
twice.
get? How did you get? I know it's probably a dumb question, and people
No,
probably
it's
gonna
not.
be like,
It's not. It's not a bad question. It's actually a very good question. Well, I'm going to give you a little history. So first, I was Tim Dog. Well, that was like my first thing, which is my actual nickname that was given to me at a party when I was young. I think we were all like, I don't know what we were doing. We were all screwed up, and I was a young kid. I was like 13 and 14, and or like 15 or whatever, and I was hanging out with the older guys, and the one of the guys, his name was Chris, really good guy. He took a liking to me. He says, you're Tim Dog, and that was based off of the rapper Tim Dog back in the
yes,
you remember? So
yeah,
that had stuck with me. So I was Tim Dog. So then um I had come onto the forums, like I talked about earlier about System Wars. I was Project Natal fan, so that was me for a while. That was my Twitter name, and then people were like, "Bro, this is like way too old. Like people don't know what Project Natal," and that was the code name for Connect. So they said, let's make a name, and Delirium, I believe, said Beastfire Tim Dog. So I did just a Beastfire Tim Dog for a couple of years, and that was like funny. But then people were like, you got to change this. It's 2 things, and at the time, I've always kind of been somebody that got behind things before they kind of really kicked off, and I was really interested. I've always been, and the Sega stuff that came up this week too was huge. I've always been intrigued by the cloud, whether it be cloud computing or stuff that's over the cloud and stuff like that. So I basically said, you know what, let me make xCloud Tim Dog. I actually hit up couple of people. I actually hit up Phil and I said, "What do you think of this name?" And he's like, "Oh, I like it." So I changed my name to it, and I think it's here to stay. I am a XCloud dude. I play on XCloud. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of the tech, and I'm like really looking forward to what the Sega deal is going to push. Because when Crackdown 3 hit, that was obviously a huge disappointment, and that was because the developmental of the dev of the game went to shit. The creative director
Mm,
left for Epic,
yep.
and or CloudGen, I think he left for, and then they basically had to pick up the pieces, and they pushed out that that whatever Crackdown 3 was. This was a horror
Whatever
show.
that Crackdown was, yeah, which was I'm a big
Whatever.
Crackdown fan, and that was
They
very
really
disappointing,
screwed
man.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they couldn't cancel it because they had canceled Fable Legends and they canceled Scalebound.
Oh, right, right,
And
right.
there were talk about, listen, that was close to being canceled, but I believe Phil kind of said we can't do it. So
Well, it was delayed a couple of times, wasn't it?
it was delayed, yeah, and that was just to get it in workable state. I mean, the game itself wasn't that bad, but they promised a lot. But now I do feel like we're going to see some special stuff with the cloud. But that's how I came about the name. I'm just kind of a guy that likes to, I love the future and I love tech and I like where things are going.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with what they're doing with xCloud as we speak.
I speak highly of xCloud. I mean, they've been working the xCloud thing for quite some time now. A lot of people don't understand that there was a lot of last generation, even the ending of 360.
Mhm.
There was a lot of testing for this xCloud stuff, and we are where we're at right now because the faith and belief in that was implemented from top down.
Right.
To launch this the right way, the correct way, not like the Stadia, the Google Stadia, where they
Yeah.
launched it and just forgot about it, and then now they have
Yeah.
no first party support for it. But
No.
more like baby steps, and Crackdown was. I
Still,
look at
yeah.
I look at Crackdown as this. It's one of those games that, yes, it didn't hit the expectations they wanted to hit or meet those expectations, but it served a purpose as far as the cloud goes. Because remember, cloud
Yes.
computing was part of that multiplayer with the world destroying itself and everything.
Yes.
So they tried it with that, but it looks like it's grown from there. I actually use
Mhm.
it now because I'm part of the Alpha Skip. So I've had for a while now. I've had the cloud shit, the cloud
It's cool,
gaming.
right? Yeah, I have it
Oh my
too.
god, the way I implement it in my gaming is pretty neat. Like I missed game demos. In this instance, what I do with the Game Pass, I just go in there, and if it's a game that I don't really want to allocate
Mhm.
resources to as far as downloading into my hard drive, I can literally hit the cloud, play it, and try it out as a demo, and go, I like this. And then
Yeah.
like 2-3 minutes later, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to download this? It gives you a notification, which I think is really cool.
Yes.
And I play many games like that. I'm also into the Microsoft Rewards, heavy on that. So there, every now and again, it says, play this game for 500 points. Rather than me
Mhm.
downloading the whole game, I go in Game Pass if it's there, hit the cloud, play a little bit of it. It gives me those 500 points, and I'm good to go. So that's how I implement the cloud. But we are in for a treat, especially with this new deal, this partnership they have going with Sega.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Sega partnership with Microsoft, and you have Sandra involved. Yeah, it's gonna be Xbox is involved, gaming is involved some way somehow.
I
This
listen.
is
I just, not to interrupt, but there was a lot of people who were saying, "Oh, this is just an Azure deal." So I got pissed off because I saw all these people, all these big names pontificating about it, and I'm gonna say this too early on RDX. Basically, I just went to the people that know about it and I said, "Listen, is this an Xbox deal? What's the deal?" And basically, what was kicked back to me was it was totally spearheaded, or it was totally Sarah Bond's
Sarah.
deal.
Yeah,
It's an Xbox deal, and the PR that came out was Sega. So they were Sega, and they were highlighted. They were just like, wow, they think so highly of this deal that they're putting out PR already. And obviously, when it came out, people were like, the naysayers were like, "Oh, this is just Sony deal." No, this is to use Azure's technology, whether it be like cloud compute, or whether it be destruction of the cloud, or whether it be native multiplayer games, basically multiplayer hosting in the cloud itself. Certain things that Stadia, if you watch Stadia's premiere when they revealed, they talked about all these types of games that can be made, and they never, it never materialized for them. But all that tech is available on Microsoft's Azure.
mm-hmm.
So that's what this is all about. And they talk about a super game. This is definitely for
Right,
games.
exactly.
Most likely it's going to be Game Pass. I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little too early to say that, but most likely, listen, if Sarah's involved, knowing her, knowing the way she operates, she got these games. Like she's like, listen, we'll let you do this. We'll even help fund you. We'll even send ATG, which is the Advanced Technology Group, which is a group within Xbox that goes out to third-party developers, and they basically
for the support.
They work with them and they help, but they work on their teams and they show them how to use certain technologies built, whether it's DirectX 12 or things built into the API, or whether it's cloud. And they basically dispatch a team there, and they could probably be on the whole development of a game, and they're growing too. So whether it be all of that, and that's going to be the game that when it comes out, guess what? It's going to probably be multiplayer, but it could be something that's revolutionary. And guess what? We're playing it day one on Game Pass. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, yeah.
With Sega too.
With Sarah involved, it's and the verbiage in that whole tweet they did, the verbiage between Sega, like the super game and Sarah being involved with Game Pass and everything. You gotta, like, if you read between the lines, they might not have flat out said it's an Xbox game that they're making. It's a partnership though with Xbox
together,
Xbox resources, spearheaded by Sarah. So a game is gonna come out of this, and it's gonna probably end up at Game Pass or something of that nature.
Yeah, the Xbox will get a kickback somehow. I mean, Game Pass makes sense.
Yeah,
doesn't sound like they're getting exclusivity, which exclusivity, it could be exclusive because, I mean, the Sony guys, they act like they're too good for these games, but I mean, I don't know, man. Listen, the original, you remember the original Crackdown demo?
Of course.
If they could make something like that, and they physically could, if you think about it, they probably can in the next 10 years make something that's that cool, and we play. You know what? That's awesome, because gaming needs as much variety as you can get. There's everything in gaming and storytelling, and everything that's went on with gaming has been done maybe one time, 3 times over, because people use ideas, and they, you just look at the Battle Royale. When the Battle Royale first came out for Fortnite, it was the only one out. Now, how many Battle Royales do you have? And it's enjoyable. And now how many people want Battle Royale for Halo and stuff like that? So the point is that this is a new way to play games, and that should be, open arms. And, like I said, if the game is just coming to Game Pass, I'm fine with that. I don't care if it doesn't have to be only on Xbox, and doesn't have to be, one of those deals. It could be a Game Pass, which is awesome. But what I do feel too is that we all talk about acquisitions, like when is Xbox going to make their next acquisition, and what's going to happen. This is types of stuff that leads up to acquisitions.
Yes.
So that's another thing to take. Like, if they really hit it off well.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be the traditional acquisition that we all thinking about, like with Bethesda. It could be what we just saw now with the Sega deal. Like, it could be something like that leads into an acquisition, or something where a development team that's helping out right now. They're helping out with Perfect Dark, something like that, of that nature. Where it may be a trial basis. Who knows, that they may announce, hey, guess what? We've now acquired this is the studio that's helping us out with Perfect Dark.
Crystal Dynamics, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be it's subtle, but it could be in that sense of a way. Xbox is not going out there. Bethesda is not, like, in my opinion, Bethesda was big fish. Right?
That was the
huge, the bass. I reeled it in 50 pounds, whatever you want to call it. Now,
you're not getting that again.
Now they're working out these deals where they're going to expose themselves to Japan with the Sega deal, and the Hideo conversation that's rumored to be having in the background. And like this whole Perfect Dark thing being helped by Crystal Diamond. That's how they're doing it organically. That's how they're thinking going forward. And I love it.
See.
All right, moving on. We're both New Yorkers. I'm originally from the Bronx, moved out to Florida 20 years ago. I think you're in Long Island, you had mentioned, right?
Yes, but I would say somebody that's I worked in the Bronx. I worked in Brooklyn for a while. I know Queens. I know all the 5 boroughs. So I'm a New Yorker at heart.
You're a New Yorker.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Say the word coffee.
Coffee.
That's it. He's a New Yorker. I know he's a New Yorker because only New Yorkers say like that. Coffee. All right. So as a New Yorker, we all know we're known for certain things. One of those things is pizza, right? Do you like
Yes.
pizza?
I love pizza.
What's your favorite pizza spot?
Okay, now everyone. Okay, I have had all the spots um, that people talk about, whether it be DeFario's in Brooklyn, which is great, or Bleecker Street Pizza, which is in Manhattan. But I'm not going to pick any of those because I don't have them enough because I'm not there enough. So I'm going to go with the best pizza that I eat now, or that when I have, and that's on Long Island. And I'm going to say for me, one of the best pizza that I know of is, I have to say it's a part of a family that owns a bunch of them, but the Umbertos of Massapequa, I have to give
Okay.
them a shout out. They have tremendous pizza. I love the Umbertos of New Hyde Park, which is the original, and John is, I know, the owner. They also have great pizza. So for Long Island, which is not, listen, it's not on the level as Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan. They're slight above above.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for the family-owned business.
Yes, but I would say that they have some great pizzas that I don't have. I can't really like say that, but I could talk about Long Island because I haven't. I have it enough to where I've had it, and also, what's the name of this place? The pizza. There's a couple of pizzas in Bayside. I can't. It's next to Lenny's Clam Bar, but I gotta get the name for you. But it's
Oh, don't
in.
worry. Whatever you can, man. I'm not trying to press you into
Yes,
getting these names, man.
it's in Howard Park. I'm just trying to remember the name, but I think it's Park Avenue. Park Avenue Pizza.
Okay.
That is, I mean, you talk about unbelievable pizza. That's in Queens, Howard Beach. That one I would say like amazing. But listen, you go into the city and you go to their top dog places. You go into Brooklyn, you go to Grimaldi's. I mean, these pizzas you eat, you like unbelievable.
It's heaven.
You can't go. Yeah, I mean,
And
Bleecker
please,
Street Pizza is.
please tell me you fold your pizzas.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I mean, I'm a big. I would say, we talk about Italian. One of my favorite Italian restaurants, in all of New York, is Don Pepe's,
Don
and
Pepe's, yeah.
yes, that is. It is very hard to get in there, but if you can, it is just unbelievable food.
I think you
mean,
got to book ahead with those people because they're always
Yes. Well,
packed.
they'll tell you. They'll be like, listen. They'll be like, just get here an hour early, and we'll try to make something happen. And it's really cool because if like you're not a New Yorker, like if you're a New Yorker, it's nothing. But they live up to the hype. Like they live up to you. You go there, that's real Italians. Like that's like
For sure.
you see the you see the wise guys and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
But
Forget
Don
about
Pepe's,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don Pepe's, I'd say for entrees and stuff like that is my favorite place. But it's so
What's
hard
your
to get into that
what's your
it's
go-to
hard to.
slice?
Like if I like just Napoleon, like that, like or what do you mean
Like
like
if you
go
was
to?
to go, like if you go to any of these places, what's your go-to slice? Pepperoni, cheese, like what's
You
like
know
your
what?
top?
I like when I do it, I just like Napoleon cheese, just like the round pizza. I'm not just a traditional slice
Traditional?
Napoleon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like I know people like Chicago style. I like that too, but it depends on the pizzeria. Everyone has their
See,
has their
this is
thing.
when I'm gonna get haters who's listening to this episode. I think Chicago pizza is not a pizza. That's more of a pie.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a pie. I mean, they're not bad. It's just not a pizza.
People go to Chicago, they say that's better. But I like just this normal. I like brick oven pizza too. Like
Yes.
there's so many different styles. But if it's a Sicilian or just like a round not Napoleon, I'll get the Napoleon.
Okay.
But it depends on the place. Some people, the best Sicilian I've ever had in my life is Carlo's and they're still there in Maspeth, Queens. Oh man, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just like I would never get just a
I
Napoleon
think
there.
they've been there for a while now. I think 20
Oh
plus years, 30 plus years, I believe. Since
yeah,
I remember being a kid and eating there.
yeah. They're the best Sicilian I've ever had in my life.
Oh, Sicilian. Yeah, you can't get them like anywhere else but the city or even
Yeah,
Queens. It's just Sicilian is the thing. My go to
unbelievable.
is the white pizza, the one that has like I forgot
Yes,
what cheese that is, ricotta.
ricotta. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's another one.
that's my
There's
go
the
to.
If you're ever in Long Island, if you ever come out here or whatever, you can call me. I'll tell you the places. There's a Two Brothers in Hicksville. At one time, they had the best white pizza ever. I don't know if it's still that good because some of these places, and especially after COVID, I hate to say it, even the restaurant business in a way, it used to always be. I don't know if it's like this in Florida or where you're at, but like for me, like ever since COVID happened, I kind of get like the hospitality industry, like they're not
They're not
as
they're not as friendly.
not yeah they're not like they'll at the, it just seems like there's not the attention to detail that there was before, meaning
It's
like
same thing over
like
here. Same thing over here.
it's like they'll use an excuse or like they won't make something or they just won't open one day, like things that never happen
It's
now.
yeah, things that never happened in the past is happening a lot more now. The
Right.
inconsistencies of it,
And then they'll just
and
blame
I get it.
COVID.
I get it, but it just seems like the COVID reasoning is overly
Yes.
used right now. Like I get the
Yes.
COVID reason, but I don't get
Yeah.
closing Monday, Tuesdays, and on Sunday or on Saturday. Like I don't get
Yeah,
that.
like, and you never
Or
did that before, or
never
closing.
before.
Listen, New York used to be 24/7. Okay, when I grew up, one of the greatest things I thought about New York City was that you could go out at 4 in the morning, you could get pizza, you could go to a diner, and then after the years, now slowly down, you even go to the city. Everything is closed down at 12 o'clock. Like it used to be, everything was open. Now, where I'm
Yes.
at in Long Island, these dudes are closing now at 9. After
PM?
COVID, yeah, they're closing.
No.
They're like they're closing. They won't take people after 9. Sure, they'll sit you 8:45, but they won't sit you after 9. And this is like it's like everyone's following the same line of thinking, and it's just I don't. I listen. The COVID's a horrible thing too, and I'm not making it political, but it's just like I hate that everything, the things that we enjoy in life are just slowly kind of like getting either like reduced or just done away with. Like I even talked about this on Twitter. You can't even call a pharmacy anymore in Long Island. Like if I wanted to call CVS to call another prescription, they don't answer the phone. And I'm talking about every CVS on Long Island. I tried one day 5 CVSs to get a prescription. The only way you can get a prescription filled, and even if they're late, is to go there and talk to them in person. Stuff like that, like just like I hate to say, it's just changed the way kind of we did things. There used to be accountability, and there used to be like, hey, we're going all out for the consumer, but it's not the way it is anymore.
It's out here in Florida we got the super Walmarts. And
Mhm.
before the whole COVID thing happened, they were 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They didn't close unless it was I think they closed once a year, which was like for Black Friday, so they can set up the store or something like that. I'm not even
Right,
sure.
right, right, right.
But ever since COVID, this is like since March of 2020, They've been closing, like at one point they closed at 7 at night, then they close at 9, now they close at 10, and they won't extend that. On the weekends, it might go to 11 o'clock, 12 maybe. But if you like where I live at, we rely a lot on Walmart, especially because they're 24 hours. So you may have a third shift and you're coming home, or second shift, you're coming home late. You don't have time to shop in the mornings, but you have time to after work, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock to go there and shop. Now with these hours, it has made it difficult for this community to just go out there and do their grocery shopping, to the point where you have to like now, leave your house a lot earlier to do the shopping, bring it home, then go to work. So you're going to work already tired, is where we at right now. So, but I totally understand that, like a lot of these places that were open, longer or just 24 hours, they cut that short. And I get, again, we're not being weird here. It's just we get the COVID thing. It's just I think it's being overly used right now for anything.
For
any
sure.
single thing. Like, oh, we don't feel right today. We're just gonna. I mean, we don't feel like working today. Let's just close it down. Like, what?
It's like I went to the bagel store the other day, and it's a good bagel store. I'm like, okay, I'm going to this bagel store. So I go to the bagel store. It's not open. It's 11 o'clock. I'm like, dude, this place is.
I gotta have my butter bagel with my top pop, man.
I mean,
50 cent sodas, man. Well,
but like,
more, but yeah.
So
okay, all right. So I believe we're both Knicks fans. I found that out through Twitter.
Yes.
You had posted something about the Knicks, and I commented. I was really blown away that. I mean, I know you're in New York, but there are some fans are really not. They're not Knicks fans. They're Brooklyn fans. Brooklyn Nets. And I call those the bandwagons because they were New Jersey Nets for quite some time. And now all of a sudden everybody's wearing garments and shirts and everything that they've been Brooklyn fans forever. But with the Knicks, what do you think about the season?
Well, listen, last night I watched the game, and I just listen. Basketball sometimes is a game where you could have a team just go completely hot and just hit everything. I don't really put too much that loss last night. I don't put too much emphasis on it because they just everything they threw up was hitting. I really like the team. I really think that the Knicks can win 50 games this year. What the next step is, I don't know. Can this team win a championship? Obviously, everyone says no way. They need another player. I don't know about that. I want to see RJ Barrett mature. I want to see Mitchell Robinson making the steps that he's making. Fournier was a great addition. I really like the way the team's constructed right now. But I do think if they can get that one player, Damian Lillard, let's say, they kind of got to, they got to kind of go after that because Randall is great, and I love Randall. And I love that he didn't take that contract. Like his contract is a great contract, tremendous. It's not a max contract. Yes, it's Nick friendly. They can get Lillard. But who they're going to trade? I love Obi Toppin. I don't want to trade him, but they're going to probably want him. So depending on, I think this is going to be a very interesting year. The trade deadline is going to make a lot of. It's going to either make or break them because I do feel like if they just keep the team the way it is, they're going to be very good. I just don't know if they can win a championship. If they do add, let's say they add Lillard, and then they don't lose the farm. They keep a lot of their players.
That's the key.
If they could get him and and not deplete their team to the point where they have him, I think he could. I think they really could. They could go real far. And I love the way they play. Yesterday, and they had a couple of down games. The one in Orlando. They just got dry. They got outworked yesterday. I hadn't seen that for a long time.
They got really outworked last night. I was watching that game, and I'm happy because I don't subscribe to the whole league pass thing. I just think it's too expensive. Living in Florida, they really black out those games a lot, so I don't get my value out of it. But I've been lucky enough to have the games being broadcasted on NBA TV and ESPN and TNT, so I've been watching it that way. And they played Orlando, so I was able to watch it that way. Locally. But last night's game, like I tell you, and I'm not the biggest Randall fan. he had a great season last year, but for
Yes.
me, he's yet to prove consistency, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to see that from him. And I tweeted this yesterday. Watching him bring the ball up court every single time is cringe. Like
Yes.
I need you to rely on Derrick Rose, on
Mm-hmm.
Kemba. Like you got those guys there. You got Randall. Let them bring the ball up. You don't need to, big guy. You don't. You're not a. Don't. You're not LeBron first and foremost. Don't bring up the
Yeah, I
ball.
know.
It's cringe because he gets to a point where, as the moment the defender swipes it, like in the vicinity of Randall,
Turnover.
he gets crazy. He goes, oh my
He
god, what's
has a
going
lot
on?
of turnovers. Yes.
Yeah, so he turns it over. So I want to see consistency from him. Randall's ceiling is so high right now. The dude, not Randall, RJ.
RJ Barrett.
His
Yeah.
ceiling is so high right now. He's so from year one to now, he's improved dramatically. And I love that. Like his ceiling,
Yes.
these last few games took over. He had a
I
career high
know.
the other day, 30-something points. You know, we have
35. Yep.
Kemba. I need him to get more into this offense as far as running it. Be a general on that.
Mm-hmm.
I do see them with this team here. I love that it's progressed. I don't see them winning the championship. I
No.
do see them getting to the conference final with this team.
Nice.
But
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
any sports, it's streaky. If they can get into a good streak towards the end of the season into the playoffs, I see this team going far. But with that being said, something has to happen to trade deadline this year, and they have to get a big name or a big playmaker like Damian Lillard in their team. Who
Oh
do they trade
yeah.
for? If that was an option, I don't know. But hopefully they don't. If that is an option, they don't give up too much because the team they got right now has been in development for about 3 years now, and they
Yep.
trimmed the fat. You know, Frank is no longer with us. Alfred's no longer with us. Like I love that. And not to make this into a sports
Small.
podcast, but yeah, man, this is it's one of those things, man, where we're Knicks fans, man, and we're passionate
Hey,
about it.
man.
And what people don't
It's
understand
true.
is the Knicks, the NBA needs a good Knicks team.
Yes.
People don't understand that. That's not a cocky statement. It's just the NBA with a good Knicks team just thrives. It goes far because there's more viewership, there's more attention to the league.
Passion. The
Right.
crowd is
The
crazy.
crowd, there's the crowd. Like legends has
No.
gone into this. You have Jordan, LeBron, Melo. Like they've gone into
Yep.
this arena as a
So
visitor
nothing's
and
like
go,
it. Yep.
wow, like this is the best arena to play with. It's the Mecca. So that's my my Knicks thing. Who's your favorite player? And it could be any era from the Knicks. All right, from the Knicks team.
Favorite player ever on the Knicks? Wow, that's a great question. I would say Patrick Ewing was my favorite player, even though he broke my
Let's
heart
go.
when
Let's
when
go.
he could never hit a free throw in the worst times. But he was my favorite. I love those teams where Mason,
Oakley and Smith.
Oakley was one of my favorite players. This year's team, I mean, right now my favorite player is RJ Barrett, but I love Topping. Like Obi, if he can make that step and be as good as I think he can, I think he'll be my favorite. I want to get his jersey. I have a lot of love for this team. I was extremely annoyed last night, and really not at them, but at the Giants. I'm also a Giant fan, and they got a lot of work to do. That's another story, but it's like with everything with Xbox. I just am a super passionate person. Like whether it be Mets, that's what people don't understand. Is like, well, you're so passionate about the Xbox, and how do you do it? It's like, no, man, I'm passionate about life, bro. My teams are like, and you get it because you're a New Yorker. This is just the way we're built, and that's why I think the New York is special in a way.
Built different.
We're just built different. We're just
we don't know how to give less than 100%. Period.
Yes, and 100% of heart too. It's like
all heart.
Our day will be ruined if like certain things don't happen or we're disappointed. Whereas other people, it's just like, hey, who cares? It's just a baseball game, or it's just this and that. No, it's we take it to heart, but that's the New York in me.
Mets, Nationals, Yankees, Boston, Giants, Jets. Knicks, Nets. Like the rivalries are there, man. Even within our inner cities, like the sports teams when they played.
Mets when the Mets Yankees played.
Mets Yankees. That was a great series, by the way. Back when they went to the World Series. Awesome. I want that to happen. I would wish that would happen again. But I'm
Yeah,
a Yankees fan, by the way, and they're so disappointing. Like
yeah,
the last
they
few
had a
years have
rough
been so
year.
disappointing. It's that whole analytical, the way they're running their offense now with numbers and stats
Yes,
and let's take this pitch route when they do 9 pitches. I don't get
yeah,
that. Like
I
I
hate
really
it
don't.
too.
Like these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. Let them do what they know
They
what they
can't pitch more
can
than
do.
6 innings. Like it's like, come
Yeah,
on,
let them do
man.
their job. Like it's their. I mean, they did this when they were like young age. Let them do
And they
what they
all get
do,
hurt. That's the thing. It's
and they
like
all get hurt. No matter how
it's
you want to,
yeah. They get
manage their minutes.
yeah. I mean, I watched baseball for over 35 years. I've watched football. Same thing. They baby these players, and the whole thing is to keep them from not getting hurt. Guess what? They get hurt more.
They get hurt
Whether it's Derrick
more.
Henry, I never seen anything like this. Derrick Henry's out for the season. It's
The
like,
see, yeah, yeah.
holy crap! Like nobody can stay healthy.
And he
I'm
was and
like,
he was having a great year,
I
man.
know. I mean, it's just like I was like that was the one guy I would say that would just not get hurt, but I don't know. I mean, it's just the pitching is ridiculous. Like you said, I don't even think they can have a starter in the next 10 years. Like the starter is going by the wayside. You pitch 5 innings, and it's like, oh,
It it's
they're
by
not
committee
as
now.
good the third time. Well, dude, I watched baseball when there were complete games almost every other night. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And
You had
the
pitchers go
pitchers
eight
would,
innings,
and
nine 9 innings a
they'd be
lot. Yeah.
healthy.
Yep. I mean,
So I
now
mean,
you even got your workhorses like we got Cole and like they give him maybe 6 7 innings and take him
I
out and
know.
he dominates and I'm going, why are you taking him out? Oh, because
Yeah.
the analytics shows us that if we continue him, it's not
Well,
really the analytics. It's okay. I'm gonna end it with one more question. By the way, normally these things go a half hour, but this conversation is too good, way too good for me to cut off at 30. But Tim, the last question I have is, what's your go-to game? What are you playing these days?
what have I been playing these days? I've been playing a lot. I always play Madden, NBA, or any sports games are my go-to games. So those are always my go-to games. But I have to say, for your fans, if you haven't played, and I finished this game solely on XCloud with the Kishi controller. If you play a game called Hades, it's on free on Game Pass right now. Play it. That was my go-to game. Basically the true finish is you beat the last guy 10 times. That is my goal. But that is I have to say that game is like super awesome.
That's
Um,
my co-host Logic, who's also from New York. He plays that game.
yeah, it's
He plays
great.
it off of Game Pass, and he was one of those that he didn't think he was gonna love that game or like that game because he's just not that kind of a player. The whole roguelike.
Same.
And he ended up downloading it, and he was like blown away. He's been playing it since. He goes, man, this
It's
is just an
addicting.
amazing game. It's
Very
very addicting.
hard, addicting. Another game that I finished that was crazy addicting. That was very hard was Yakuza Like a Dragon. If you ever played that, or if you never
Oh
got
yeah,
into
yeah,
it,
yeah.
play that. But for me, it's like I love just going to play a baseball game. I'll sometimes just turn it on. Now I was supposed to play Guardian of the Galaxy, and I was supposed to do everything, but this whole weekend got totally screwed up. I ended up staying over with my nephews. I didn't get to play any Xbox. So I'm kind of like chomping at the bit. I just got home today. We did this podcast, but that's how crazy this whole weekend was crazy for me. But yeah, I want to get a couple of days off. I want to play Guardian of the Galaxy. I've been playing Far Cry 6. Pretty good game, good game. But I'm really, really, which is always my go-to for OG for everything, would be this Halo game, and I'm really
Hmm.
excited to see What do you think of the reveal before we go? Were you happy with it? I mean, I was very happy with it.
Listen, I was in the minority where the first review they showed us last year, I was happy with. Like, I was okay with
Yeah,
that
me
review.
too. Yeah.
I didn't have an issue with that. I mean, a lot of these fanboys now, warring, they're all about the FPS and the whole 4K this and ray tracing that. I want gameplay, pure gameplay, and Halo. What they showed off last year was great. They delayed it, and what they showed off this time around is I don't know what word is above great, but phenomenal. I would say. I played the flight. I did all that, and the thing is that here's where I'm at with this campaign they showed off last week. I was at all. Like, I enjoyed what I saw. I like the direction
See,
it's going. It's not your traditional campaign. I see why co-op may have been delayed, because this is not your typical co-op or your typical co-op campaign. It's not. I see why they did that, but I gave it a out of 5 star, 5 star. I enjoyed it, and I will go as
nice.
far as to say, don't give me no more. I don't want to see any more. I want to be
Yes,
surprised at launch. I know someone saying
yes.
I want more, but I don't want that. I want
You don't want to be
this is
spoiled.
perfect. This is perfect, and let me play and be surprised and be refreshed when I play it when it launches. But I like it. I love it. The multiplayer is running smooth as hell. The campaign looks great, and I can't wait to jump into it. So that's my take
Yes.
on it. I mean, I know you liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. I took away with it thinking that it was they did what they had to do. And I'm not nervous about the story. You know, Halo is very put under a microscope, and there's a lot of passion behind it. And some of it's warranted, and some of it though is like over the top. But you know, like I felt like I heard Anthony Battaglia's him talking about it, and I don't know. I just like this. I'm just thinking to myself, and I like him. I think he's just thing, but I'm just like, I don't know. I think sometimes people just complain to complain, and
And that's what I feel about, especially now with social media and the way people use the tool. It just
mhm,
seems like it's easier to complain about things than it is to just enjoy what you do.
yeah,
Hey, I'm all about the console war, jabbing back and forth. But this generation has gotten to the point where people are preaching on spaces, and people are just doing just the weirdest things with these tools that they're provided. I'm going,
yeah,
how do you guys do that? I can only do a pod for like 2 hours. You guys are going in 6 to 8 hours on these spaces about constantly. Like, they're going to sleep in
yeah,
spaces, waking up in spaces. I'm going, no, that's a little too much for me. I got a wife and
yeah,
kids. They want to see me,
yeah.
But no, man,
Agreed.
I appreciate you, man, taking this interview with me, taking this sit down. It's my this is the part of content creating in this space that I love and I enjoy, and why I even started doing this in the first place back in March of this year. I wanted to meet the community. You were on the top of my list to meet you.
Awesome.
I can't wait till we are able to see each other maybe at E3, or even in New
Yes,
York. If I stop by,
yes.
I'm gonna
Call me,
hit you up
man.
and
Just
get a pizza together. But
yeah, yeah.
that's probably the next step evolution in our I hopefully what started a friendship between us.
Yes, cool.
Um,
Yeah, you're a
but
good
I
dude, man.
appreciate you, man, for saying it was one of those things I shot in the dark. I said, let me reach out to Tim and see if he would like to sit down with me. And when you responded, man, I ran to the wife, and she goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yes." She goes, "Oh my god, who is that?" She's not a
Yeah, but
gamer,
no,
so
I mean,
she
listen,
wouldn't get it. Yeah.
I'm just a normal guy like you, just a New Yorker, and you know, listen, I'll give you one thing. You do it the right way. You're very respectful, and you know, like I said, I'd love to come on your main show if you'd have me,
Oh,
and
definitely,
like
that's
I
gonna
said, if
happen.
you're in New York or even if I'm in Florida, I'll let you know, and maybe we'll just hook up for dinner or whatever, and it's nice though. You're a good dude, man.
I appreciate that. You heard it first. Tim said I'm a good dude. For those who think I'm not, I appreciate that, Tim. But definitely, you here or me there, or even at Vegas, or not Vegas, but LA with the E3. Definitely want to
Yes, or
hit up,
Vegas. Who knows? I love
or Vegas,
Vegas.
or Vegas. Things that happen there never get talked about. So Vegas could
Yeah,
be a place. But
maybe we'll
hopefully it's
bet.
sometime soon. I
Yes,
would
for
like
sure.
to meet you face to face, and it'll be cool. But other than that, I appreciate that, man. For those who are just tuning in or watched us, I appreciate you coming in and listening to this. This will premiere on Friday, Tim, just so you know. So it premieres Friday at 5 p.m. on YouTube,
Nice.
Eastern time. So if you're available to just get in the
I'll tweet
chat
it
and have a
out.
little, yeah. And I'll let you know. I'll message you saying, hey, it's about to premiere, that kind of stuff. So other than that, I appreciate you coming in. I don't want to keep prolonging this. I thank you. The questions were, hopefully they were not too spicy. They were
No, they
good.
were good.
So other than that, I appreciate you. What I say on a podcast or anything I do is at the end, I always end it with happy fucking gaming. So for this one, I will say happy fucking gaming. Have a good one, everybody.
Nice.